What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 43 of the Get Game On podcast, bringing you the hot takes, latest stories, and spicy picks on New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, national, and international sports. Hosted by yours truly, Ann Grisani. Joined us now by Michael Cunningham, Alex Reach, and Chris Kieran. You can listen to the podcast right now on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at GetAGameOnP. With all that said, it's time to get a game on. Yo, guys.
Yo, we back, baby. We back in the building.
Go.
The connection's back, boys.
Yo, guys, I found something interesting today. Our good friend Alex here is doing the show from the library.
Where me and Alex went to college at. To all your viewers, that's the same college that myself and Alex both graduated. I was class of 2019. He was class of 2020. Alex is going for his fifth year. Clap it up for us, folks. So for Alex going to fifth year, keeping his education. And Get Your Game On fans, we do education in sports. So all you viewers listen to us. You take our education seriously. That's how Adam got to the top. That's how Chris got to the top. That's how I got to the top. That's how Alex got to the top. Education, sports. Keyword, student athlete. Back to you.
All right.
Back to you, A-Boogie.
Alex, you have anything to say?
I appreciate that, Big Mike, and I'm always motivated by you to go more than 100% in the classroom, and it's only going to be better from here on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this picture 5 years ago, I took a kid, a little freshman under my wing, grounded him and made him. Now he's the big man on campus. So this is like my best creation. He had it all in himself. He had all in himself.
Anyway, before we dive into, we got a bunch of stuff to get into. Alex, you said you had something you wanted to share something with our viewers. So if you want, you got some big news you wanted to share to our viewers. So Alex, go ahead.
Okay, so around, I guess, 8 or 9 p.m. tonight, I went to Twitter and I DM'd a guy that writes for a Flyers website, which is a website that I wrote before.
Yeah.
And I asked him if I could have the opportunity to sit in a Zoom press conference at training camp on Saturday. And he said, yes, you can. And I'm going to be right there with the players and reporters, and just being on mute the whole time and just hearing what they have to say. And I was told that I can't ask questions this time around, but I'll be on mute the whole time, so I'll be able to hear some inside scoops on how training camp is going.
Yo,
Major respect,
brother.
Let's go. Let's
go, Alex.
You going to the top, baby. You going to the top, Rockstar.
Yeah, I remember I was at as part of like a school project. I was at Adele's press conference once.
That's awesome.
I don't know who the better reporter is, Alex or Adam. But y'all going head to head, boys.
The AA sports writers.
The
AA sports speak guys.
Chris, so you got your money on Alex or Adam? Who you got your money on?
Oh no, it's a tough one. Did they both?
That's a tough one. I don't know who to go for.
They both been.
We're both killing it.
Two of my very best friends are going at it. I love it.
Big time. Maybe me and Mike got to get into that game.
Yeah, me and Chris. Yo, Chris, man, that's where the money's at, Chris. You got Chris. I got terrible handwriting, man. I swear, man, I can't write for crap. So
I did a lot of stuff with that a couple years ago, but
me and Chris, that's where me and Chris are going, Adam. Me and Chris are going into the Get Your Game On business. We're coming in. All right, all seriousness. All right. What we got on the show?
All right. I originally was. Do you guys want? I originally was gonna start. You guys want to start off with football? Or you want to start with baseball?
We got. Start off with baseball.
Yeah, we'll start with baseball.
Because baseball season is ending, and we got football for like the rest of the season.
We'll start off with baseball. I mean, you got Chris. You missed last episode. I don't know if you had time to listen, but last episode I went on a pretty much. It turned out to be actually like 24 minutes. At the time, that was 25 minutes. I went on 24 minutes, pretty much uninterrupted, ranting about the New York Yankees.
I went in.
And I went in. I was like killing them from top to bottom. I feel like I have a right to. They lost 2 games to in blowout matches to a team that they should be, and they were looking very bad. They were losing games that they should have won. The offense looked bad, and at the time it wasn't looking good for the Yankees. And I said at the time that in order to keep their playoff hopes alive, they needed to sweep the Rangers. It couldn't have just been like a situation where they took 2 out of 3. They needed to sweep the Rangers, and you know what? They did just that. And I gotta give the credit. They did what I asked them to do. They went out there and they swept the team that they should beat. The Rangers are one of the worst teams in the American League. The Yankees are supposed to be a playoff team this year, at the very least. That was the expectation for them to be, at the very least, a playoff team. In fact, the expectation, like, coming to the year was them to win the American League. That's neither here nor there. But this was that they should have beat. This is a team that they should beat, and you know what? They did just that. But guys, I want to focus on the game last Wednesday, because that was a game where it just seemed like where it was looking like one of those games for the Yankees where they just could, because the Yankees have had a problem with sweeping series all year long, and it was looking like this was gonna be the same thing. Like, they were down 3-2, they had the bases loaded with 1 out, and what happens? The only run they managed to get is on a wild pitch. So, granted, that wild pitch ended up tying the game, but in that moment, as the Yankees fan, you're not feeling optimistic. You're feeling, oh, this is the same old. And then in the bottom of the 8th, and then everything like, and then came the bottom of the 8th inning. Joey Gallo, gets a. This is something that we don't see Joey Gallo do out there. He gets a blue hit and he legs out for a double. I like seeing that from Joey Gallo, because that's proof that Joey Gallo doesn't necessarily have to hit home runs in order to, or draw walks to contribute offensively. He's the type of guy that can and should be able to get those type of hits that can get the offense going. And then guys, a guy who, I'm a fan of, but I've also been very critical of, and a lot of the other Yankee fans critical of, arguably, in my opinion, saved the season. Guy hit them, in my opinion, arguably saved the season. Gleyber Torres goes opposite field, on the very first pitch, lines one tops the field for a 1-run double, gives the Yankees the lead, because, and that is like, when I saw it, I was just thrilled. And then Gleyber actually scored on, like, I don't know if you guys saw this play that Gio Urshela, I believe it was at the very next bat, Gio Urshela hit like a soft grounder that the second baseman booted, and Gleyber actually scored from second base on that. Excellent base play. It was a close play. It could have gone either way, but the replay showed that he did barely get his foot in his hand in it ahead of the tag. So, I mean, and then obviously Gary Sanchez, got the 2-run home run, and the Yankees ultimately ended up winning the game. That's a huge win for this team too. Because with that win, guys, the Yankees are now. Let me check the standings. Because I remember Toronto played today. Granted, they were playing the Twins, but no, Toronto actually lost against the Twins. So right now, the Yankees are currently in the second wild card and are 1 game ahead of the Toronto Blue Jays. That's a huge. That was a huge win. That was like just a huge win for this team. And I got more to say, but I'm gonna open the floor here. Chris, Alex, Michael, you got anything to say?
Honestly, I got a rap. I don't
Go
know
ahead.
if the boys got a rap, but
Go ahead.
I believe if the Yankees could get, here's the thing. The Yankees are like J.R. Smith's jump shot. It's hot or cold. It's streaky. That's how I believe how the Yankees been playing like this year. It's like J.R. Smith's jump shot. It's streaky. It goes hot or cold. J.R. Smith, we ain't throwing shade at you. I'm just saying how the Yankees are playing. Like, the Yankees are probably going to be next playing shirts off and having Hennessy in the nightclub and passing out, drinking Henny and playing shirtless. That's how bad they're playing like J.R. Smith. Honestly, for an organization that has over 27 world championships, the same age as Michael Cunningham, I believe that the Yankees can get together at them. Do I think they could win a wild card game at home at Yankee Stadium, which they've been in the last 5 seasons? I think they only lost one wild card game at home that they played.
Correct.
They lost one wild card game.
They played 3 wild card games.
They won 2 out of 3 against, and they've lost to Houston.
Now, as of right now, they have the second wild card. So, as of right now, if the season ends today, they would be going to Fenway Park. So they would be on the road in the wild card game.
There'll be every wild card game.
Which you want to have that game at Yankee Stadium. Ideally.
All right. So if they could beat Boston, I have no problem with them beating Boston. They could probably do it. But however, DJ LeMahieu, who I think if he could stop playing like crap, is probably the best player in the American League in my opinion.
Best player in the American League. That's a stretch.
If he's playing before the season.
If 2019 and 2020, Mike Trout obviously is a slam dunk.
Mike Trout is just God.
I mean, if we talk about in 2019, 2020, yeah, he was one of the better players in the American League. And Michael, that brings up a great point. I want to hear this. You're sure about how streaky this Yankee season is, and I want to ask all 3 of you guys, because let's just go back. Let's try and travel all the way back. I don't know, 6 months ago when we first started up this podcast. 6 months ago, like we were talking when we previewed the Yankee season, we were asking what were some of their concerns. Their concerns were durability, can they stay healthy, and pitching. Those are their 2 concerns, guys. Let me put this in perspective. What if I told you back in March that Aaron Judge was going to pretty much stay healthy all year and have an MVP caliber season? That Giancarlo Stanton was going to stay healthy and hit 30+ home runs? That Gerrit Cole was going to have a Cy Young caliber season, and that the pitching would hold up? What if I told you all 3 of those things are going to happen? You'd assume the Yankees are going to win 100+ games.
Yeah, no question.
Am I not wrong?
Nah, dog, you ain't wrong.
Yeah, and then I tell you that instead they're barely fighting for a wild card spot. It just shows how crazy and in some cases disappointing the season is right now. With that same time, I am happy to see that they took care of business and swept them the Rangers. And I wanted to bring this point up is that it feels obviously Gleyber Torres has been like someone who I have been like very critical of. Except for I love the kid. I said before he was my favorite Yankee, but the guy just like I don't know if you guys saw this. Chris, Alex, I don't know if you Mike, I don't know if you saw me tweet this out.
What's up, baby?
If DJ LeMahieu and Gleyber Torres were anywhere close to what they were in 2019, this team right now would be in contention for the division. They would be, at the very least right now, in contention for the division. So both of their regressions have really, really hurt this team. But getting back to Gleyber, that hit like he got there, I just gotta like really just applaud him for that. Because I said before, that hit you could make the argument probably save Yankee season. Because if he doesn't get that hit, if he doesn't come up big there, they go into the ninth inning, tie 3-3, and with the one, so maybe they still find a way to win that game, but you just don't feel good. So for him to get that big of a hit, and hopefully this helps get his power stroke going. I'm just like really happy for Glaber, and I did actually bring up. I gotta credit a guy on Twitter. He's a really great content creator, Dan Rourke. He's channel owner of Yankees Avenue on YouTube. He's an editor for John Boy Media. And I really enjoy his content. So he tweeted this out, and I found it very interesting. Guys, you know what Glaber's stats in the second half of the season are?
What?
In the second half of the season, he's played 41 games in the second half. He's saying 290, 342 on base, 441 slugging, 783 OPS. That's actually not bad. That's actually
pretty solid. Actually,
that's pretty solid. Now it's nowhere close to to what he was in 2019, but still, I mean, if he can continue producing at that level, like that's gonna be a big boost for this team.
You ain't wrong, brother. You ain't wrong.
If he could just get some of the, if Glaber could at least get some of the power back that he had in those years, if he could just be, I don't know, put up those numbers, hitting 290 and just hit like, I don't know, 20, it could just be a 20, 30 home run year guy. That's a major, major force in this Yankees lineup. And also, I got credit another guy, and that is Gary Sanchez. You guys know I haven't been the biggest Gary Sanchez fan. I've been very critical of him at times. That was a big 2-run home run to us to really put the game away. And guys, Gary Sanchez is the type of guy, like, you heard me last episode, and I still stand by us that no, I do not want the Yankees to trade him. No, I do not want the Yankees to cut him. But come free agency, like after next season, would I pay him? Would I give him, I don't know, $15 million a year or some kind of like big long term contract? No, I wouldn't. I think that would be a mistake on the Yankees part. But puts like that, the power that Gary Sanchez shows, like, and the fact that he just can continuously run into these type of balls, like that type of stuff is what keeps the Yankees and most Yankees fans from really giving up on him completely. Because yes, he's very frustrating at the play at times. Yes, he's very frustrating like defensively, but again, he just keeps on. He's the type of player that when he's performing bad, we really want to get rid of him. But when he's performing great, it's stuff like that makes keeps you from giving up on him completely. Like, he's a very frustrating player, and I've kept that stance for years. But yeah, the Yankees had a day off today, and guys, as far as the upcoming games, this is it. I don't think there's any other way to say this is it. They have 3 games against the Red Sox and 3 games against the Phillies on the road. This road trip, this is it. This is going to decide the Yankee season. I think it's safe to say if they lay an egg in this season, then that's it. They're not going to make the playoffs. If they can find a way to win, I don't know, 4 games, like if they take 2 out of 3 from Boston, then they take 2 out of 3 from Toronto, I think you have to feel really good about the chances to make the playoffs. This upcoming week is going to ultimately decide the Yankees season, I feel. Chris, I don't know if you agree.
No, I definitely agree. Especially like playoffs are right around the corner. Getting a chance to play other teams who are right in the mix with you this late in the season is something that's very helpful, but it can also be the other side of that and kind of ruin the season too if you lose all these games against another team fighting for a position. So like right now you talked about Yankees have had their struggles, but at the end of the day they have the lead right now for that second wild card spot. So they just got to come out and play, and they got to find a way to win these games, these next couple series, like you mentioned, if they just get a couple games, both series, and that'll put them in a really good spot heading into the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Because
And then, like, I forgot
Mhm.
to mention, like, they finish out the season at home against the Rays, and that's also going to be an interesting season because
so
the
are those
Rays,
are those the last three series, or they're four?
their last
It
three
should be
games
only
are against
two.
the Rays at home.
And it's Red Sox, Blue Jays, Rays, and it.
Yep.
That's a tough little gauntlet. I don't know. How are the other teams looking? Who do the Blue Jays end with? You know?
I'll have to check.
I'll take a peek real quick.
Okay, thank
But
you.
that's definitely
but yeah,
something
that series
they end with Baltimore at home. So that's not super encouraging. So
yeah.
you need to be up going into that final series against the Rays, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel
like
like
if you can win 2 against Boston and Toronto, that gives you a spot to do that.
Yeah.
Be comfortable either way. But yeah,
I feel like if you take 2 out of 3 against both Boston and Toronto, and if you just don't get swept by Tampa Bay, I feel like you're in pretty good shape.
That should be enough.
That should be enough. But here's the thing: like going to Tampa Bay, that's not going to be the Tampa Bay Rays are not going to just roll over and die in that series. You know, because you guys know that the Tampa Bay Rays and Yankees, that's like they don't like each other. The Rays are going to be motivated to really stick it to the Yankees that season.
Blue Jays got to get a couple wins. They need to find a way to get 2 out of 3 the rest of the series against Minnesota. I think so. I think they gotta get a couple of these. So they've lost 3 of the last 4. I see now because they lost game 1. But yeah, they gotta find a couple ways. And Seattle's still a couple games back, I believe. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yes. Yeah, Seattle's 2 back. I mean, Oakland is Oakland's a couple. By the way, what's happened to Oakland?
I don't know.
They were right in the middle of it.
They have. They just got 4 games swept by Seattle. That'll do it for you.
Yeah,
that'll do it because I think they kind of. How are they? How many games back of the Yankees are they? They were pretty much. Are they like 4 or 5 back? They would have been right in that mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 4 back.
They're 4 back. Yeah.
They were right in that mix.
So, yeah, I mean, Seattle, could Seattle potentially be a sleeper? I mean, yes, but I feel like it's mostly between Boston, New York, and Toronto. I feel like that's gonna be the race.
I agree, but if Oakland's slide continues, like the Mariners have 3 against LA, 3 against Oakland, and 3 against the LA again, the Angels both times.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see how we'll see how this weekend goes, especially.
Yeah.
Big series on the road for the Mariners and the Blue Jays. And then are the Yankees home or on the road against the Red Sox?
They're on the road against both Boston and Toronto. And they're at home against Tampa.
That'll be helpful. But yeah, all these contenders got tough series on the road. The Yankees have 2 of them, so it's going to be very interesting. And yeah, it's going to be fun seeing all these playoff battles go down to the end.
Alex, go ahead.
One of the series to keep an eye out is out west, Astros against Oakland this weekend.
I mean,
I think Houston might put Oakland away for good.
Yeah, I think I agree.
But definitely, I mean, yeah, that's tough for Oakland getting swept by Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be tough for them to get up to that one.
I mean, credit to Houston, by the way. I mean, I don't like them, and none of us on this podcast like. I think it's safe to say none of us on the podcast like these shows. For them to but still, for them to lose Verlander and lose Verlander for the entire season, like, and then they lose George Springer in free agency, and for them to still be like one of the better teams in the American League, like that's impressive. That's still impressive.
Team is Springer on, by the way.
He's on Toronto.
I I want it on record that Chris does not get the same credit for the Astros.
I will never get to all you viewers. To all you viewers out there,
Chris,
get the black man talk, Adam. Stop being greedy. Let the black man talk.
You'll shut up when you hear what I have to say. Like Chris, it just proves that that the Astros never needed to cheat. That they were that good.
The Astros are fucking assholes and cheaters. They're a disgrace to baseball.
But they're still good. You tell me Jose Altuve, for as much as I hate him, isn't good at baseball?
He'll misfield the ground ball to end the season again and all.
All right. Adam, you know what time it is, brother.
All right, before we get to Mike's hot take, I got talk to my good friend Alexander Reach here for a second.
Oh God.
Alex, what happened to your Phillies against the Orioles? You only managed to take 2 out of 3.
Oreos? Oreos?
No, the Phillies. The Phillies.
You said Oreos.
What? The Orioles.
Oh, damn. I misheard you.
Okay, sorry. But Alex, if you want to talk about your Phillies, I believe they're still 2 games back in the division.
Definitely big win tonight against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this to start out. I'll tell you that Aaron Nola was atrocious for the first 2 or 3 games. I mean, innings. But excuse my language, their shit got together starting in the 5th inning where they went on for a run, which was the end of the Pirates' night scoring-wise. Ronald Torreyes had a big night coming up clutch with the go-ahead game. How am I supposed to say this? Go-ahead game leading home run, which put up the Phillies up 6-5. And I won't forget telling you guys that they were down 6-0 at some point. And early in the game, around the 2nd or 3rd inning, it was pulling buckets for a good hour or so. So Aaron Nola had to pitch during that hour, and it was pretty bad. And then once the 5th inning started, everyone seemed to be going at it better, and the hitting was terrific from the 5th inning on. And shout out to JT Romito and Ronald Torreyes for having big performances tonight. And as they won tonight, they are now on a 3-game winning streak going into tomorrow against Pittsburgh. And it's going to be a big...
You have 3 more games against Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I told you, Alex, that first game against the O's, that's a really bad loss. They lost. I believe they got shot out in that game.
The pitching was atrocious in that game.
You mean the hitting?
Yeah. I mean, both was.
I mean, it was 2-0 pitching like the pitching like I feel like this, but your lineup can't go silent like that, and they kind of got lucky in the same game too, with JT Romito like coming up clutch like that.
And I wanted to mention that Ronald Torreyes, his go-ahead drive, which was a pinch hit 3-1 home run in the 6th inning, was the first pinch hit homer of his career, which was pretty
shout
awesome.
out to Ronald Torreyes, former Yankee, by the way.
And
also, I believe you guys caught a lucky break today. the Atlanta lost to Arizona, so you get a free extra game in the standings.
Thank you for a good win, Arizona.
Yeah, but yeah, I said before. You heard me. Like on our previous episode saying this, Alex. In these 7 games, I said before, Phillies need to go 6-1.
Yeah.
So Phillies pretty much, in my opinion, pretty much have to win these next 3 games against Pittsburgh if you guys really want like a shot at the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because I believe now Atlanta starts their 3-game series with San Diego.
Yeah, they do.
So I hope that they drop at least one of those series. So all you have to do is just win these next 3 games against Pittsburgh, and then you head to that series against the Braves with 1 game back, and then
that series is in Atlanta.
Then you said that head to Atlanta with 1 game back, and if you manage to take 2 out of 3, you head into the final 3 games where the division is up for grabs.
And then to cap off the regular season, they play at Miami.
Yeah, that's the game. That's the series.
Both of those series.
Throughout the rest of the season, I think both the Yankees and Phillies are in situations where there's not really much room for error, if at all. If each teams want to make the playoffs, I feel like in these next couple of games, the Phillies can afford 1 or 2 losses. They pretty much have to go at minimum. How many games they have left? They have 9 games left. They have to go 7-2, in my opinion. Who does Atlanta play in their final 3 games? They play the Mets. So I mean, you could see the Mets taking a game in that series. I mean, it is at Atlanta, but you could still see the Mets, taking a game.
Yeah, I think that the Mets are in trouble this weekend against Milwaukee.
Oh, the Mets are done.
Yeah,
Mets are done. We're no point talking about the Mets anymore. Am I right, guys?
Yep, they are.
Correct.
We apologize to Marcellus and all the other Met fans out there. But yeah, but yeah, National League. I mean,
because if you watching this, I was totally against this. I was between Adam, Alex, and Chris. I was all there for your fight.
No, you won't. He's lying.
Yeah. Okay, but guys, but yeah, pretty much the National League that's pretty much the only real race that's interesting. I mean, everything else is pretty much locked up. I mean, Milwaukee's locked with the Central. San Francisco has. I mean, the NL West is pretty much decided with San Francisco and the Dodgers. I mean, the Dodgers have pretty much landed. Either San Francisco or LA is going to win the division, and whoever's not going to win the division is going to win the wild card. So,
I got a question for you, Adam.
Yeah.
What baseball conference is the hardest division to play in? The hardest division.
The hardest division. I guess the AL East. It's close between the AL East and the NL West. Those are the 2 best divisions, baseball, hands down.
Adam, we gotta wrap it up, brother.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to talk about baseball because it's so interesting. These final couple series. This is what I live for, guys. You guys know how much I love baseball. Down the stretch, playoff spots on the line. This is what I live for. This is the type of baseball that I live for. This is the type of baseball that I live for. But Chris. Aside from Chris, with his Royals. I mean, Chris could not be more disinterested.
I mean, it's all good. We've had some exciting stuff this season. We have a decent core to go forward with, and we'll see how this offseason goes. But
yeah, and you won a championship 5-6 years ago. So
we got good. We got
good starters. Chris can. I got it.
I'm excited.
Chris can observe this as a Houston Astros hater. That's his role here.
I'm good with that.
All right.
They're not winning.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one thing we all can agree. We'll all be fine at the end of the season as long as Houston doesn't win. Okay.
If they're in the World Series.
Right.
Okay. But guys, Alex, go ahead really quickly. Then we gotta get to Mike's hot take.
Chris, at least you have your Chiefs to watch.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
We gonna get into that.
Aside from this past Sunday night game.
Just wait until
Chris.
2 games.
Chris,
we
were watching that game. We were concerned for you.
I'm good. Yeah,
I think the reason
I'm not worried.
Was because the Chiefs lost. That's the real reason.
It wasn't just the fact that Chiefs lost; it's how they lost. That was a heartbreaker.
How y'all lost at home?
Not even that bad.
I'm sorry.
Have you watched Chiefs football? That wasn't even bad.
Okay.
It was heartbreaking.
Okay.
All right,
guys. But we gotta move on to the segment of the show that I gotta bring this out as a reference. That is like a Nintendo Direct where there's a bunch of where Nintendo drops a bunch of cool banners and a bunch of new games. There was a Nintendo Direct we see today, and it was this past Thursday. It was so awesome. I have so much fun watching it with my girlfriend, but that's beside the point. Mike's hot take. Mike Cunningham, take it away.
For the record, I'm more of a PlayStation man. Let's get the record straight.
I love PlayStation too. I'm a Nintendo and PlayStation guy. I love both.
Let me put my hat on. Let me get gettable. Let me get grind. Let me get my mugging right. Hold up. Now I feel like all right. Let me get my hot take is today. I have a 2-parter. It goes connection. I think the Cowboys are like the NBA version of the Lakers. Here's why, because a lot of people hate them. A lot of people hate them. A lot of teams hate him. He's really getting upset.
Like, you're not wrong. Just continue.
Because a lot of teams hate him in the NBA. For example, you have Ezekiel, you have LeBron James, who's on the Lakers, and a lot of people hate LeBron as an NBA player. However, you have Jerry Jones, who's the most hated owner in the NFL, and also you also have Ezekiel Elliott, who's the most hated player in the NFL besides Brady. Chris, that's true.
It's absolutely not, but I'll let you finish.
I just want to screw Adam. Adam, you can come back now. He doesn't say be right back.
It wasn't even that bad of a take. I kind of agree with you. I don't know.
Where the hell did he go?
I don't think it's a bad take. You just
misinterpret
where you're going.
Yeah, you misinterpreted where I was going. You misinterpreted what I was saying, Adam. You're not going to talk?
You said the Cowboys are the Lakers of...
Because a lot of people hate them as a team.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
You left before
you almost got me there. You almost got me there because I'm thinking like the Cowboys are the Lakers are like as good as the Lakers are in the.
You got up. I knew you were thinking.
Were you laughing when I said that?
Yes, I was. I was ready. I was ready to pull out my rant voice there for a second. I was ready to do it. But you got me there, Michael. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand.
Yeah, because here's the thing: LeBron James was probably the most loved but hated player in the NBA. And honestly, for me, I love both teams. I'm a Laker and Knicks fan, and for football, I'm a Jets and Cowboy fan. But however,
for the record, Michael is not a bandwagon fan.
I'm actually not a bandwagon fan. I've been a Laker fan since 2000 because my all-time favorite player. Everybody knows me. It's Kobe Bryant. My favorite Knicks player of all time is Marcus Camby. And if you don't believe me, look at all my pictures. And my room is blue and orange, and half Laker and gold and purple. But that's not the point. But I'm saying, for everyone knows me, it doesn't take. If Alex could vouch for me, I've been a Cowboy fan and Jet fan all my life. The point is, the Lakers, who I think are going to have a good season this year, boys. I'm going to go to Laker country. Lakers are going to have a good year. You have the best player in the game today in the last decade is LeBron. Mm-hmm. Since he's been in the league, he was in the top 10 players of the league when he first came into the league his rookie year. There's only 5 players, in my opinion, to change the game. Wilt Chamberlain, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Steph Curry. 5 of the players to change the game. No, I'll say 7. I'll add Bird and Magic. Here's why I say Wilt. Wilt was averaging only played to average 100 points in the NBA game. I'll say Jordan. Jordan, who was 6'6", in the league, and there was a center league when Jordan came in the league. There were a few guards, a few forwards that are dominant, but Jordan, I posted this on my Instagram. Followers, get your game on crew. Money23 Mike at Money23 Mike on Instagram. Michael Jordan's probably the greatest champion athlete. 6-time NBA champion, 1-time college champion, 4-time FBI champion, and 2-time Olympic. So he's 11-0 in championship. I think, not doing the math, but he's 11-0. 11-0, boys. That's just like greatness.
Yeah.
Matt Johnson and Larry Bird, who was in the NBA. When the NBA was dying down to football and baseball, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird saved the NBA. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows me. I'm the best. Besides Chris. Chris is a college basketball historian. I'm the NBA historian. I'm saying. And then you have Kobe Bryant, who there's no saying, there's no iron team. Kobe made his team better. There's a quote I read by Kobe. The reason why I don't pass my teammates is I seen them practice. I seen them work in practice, and they didn't take it seriously. That's why I didn't pass them the ball in games. You guys heard that? It was a quote, and I read it. I'm a diehard fan, and I believe I agree with Kobe. Why should I pass you the ball if you don't take practice seriously? Why I'm going to pass you the ball? I'm going to pass it with Shaq, or if me and Adam and Chris and Alex and myself are on the team, and I don't see you hustling in practice, and you screw it and want to get the ball in games, you got to earn the ball. You got to work it. You got to work in your craft. You're getting paid millions of dollars just to play. You effing up in practice, and you're not winning games. Come on, you ain't getting the ball.
I agree.
And honestly, I'll give you 3 keys why the Lakers may win a championship this year. When you
before you get that, you said before about players that are changing the game. That's the definition of players that change the game.
Yeah,
I feel like the only one that mentioned that really quote unquote changed the game is Steph Curry. Because the NBA, because he like really like, because we're seeing right now with big men taking threes and stuff, and how important like the 3-point shots are coming. Steph Curry started that trend. He was the one that really changed, really played that changed the game.
He made players want to shoot threes all the time. Because the NBA, a dunk was the highlight of a game. Yeah. A crossover dunk. Now you got Curry that can shoot anywhere in the court.
Yeah, that's what I meant about how Curry changed the game. And Michael Jordan, I also feel was a player that changed the game. Because that was when I believe, Michael, you're the best historian, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe that's when dunking became a big deal. Like really big.
Dunking was before Jordan because you had Julius.
It was before Jordan, but Jordan I feel like took it to another level.
Honestly, the best dunker I gotta say is between Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, and I'm gonna go with Julius Erving and Vince Carter. Because back in the day,
Vince Carter definitely.
Here's why: my dad saw Julius Erving play when my dad was living in DC when they were known as the Washington Bullets against the Sixers back in the day. They said the doctor was known for dunking. And I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask Chris and Alex, and I'm gonna wrap you and ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask you guys something. Yo, Chris, Alex, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, which players you think changed the game? You heard my list. Who do you think changed the game of basketball? Alex, you give me one. Adam, you give me one.
I think it has to be Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant changed the game, in your opinion. Chris, you got? It could be college players too. You think?
It's fine because the main ones you kind of already discussed. Because I think you didn't go depth, but I think Magic Johnson really changed the game as well. So you kind
Because
of
you have
discussed him.
6'9" point, and
Yeah,
I
6'9" point guard.
who I
Like
also
the big playmakers, really. I think he was kind of the first one with that, and you see a lot of guys like that today.
you know what I believe also who changed the game that they give no credit to is Jason White Chocolate Williams.
Yeah,
When he played for
that's a
Sacramento.
sneaky one.
Adam, I don't think you're a little young. You may not remember him. Jason Williams, who was known as White Chocolate, was known as the guy that started pace and space, that offense with Sacramento. He was one that was doing elbow passes, fancy passes. He made a game between being a great passer and a willing passer. That's the difference from a good passer to a great passer. There's great passers that only pass when they want to, when they need to. Passers that they want to pass. That's the difference, that they wanted to. And Jason Williams needed to pass the ball to get his team in championships. He knew I could average 10 points and I give you 8 or 9, 10 or 11 assists per game. I'm gonna ask you and I'm gonna say how the Lakers score in the championship this year. I'm gonna say the 3 keys. This is gonna be in my hot take. The Lakers. Honestly, I'm a big Laker fan. I think the Lakers. This is their rebound. This is their good year. Because I think after this year, if the Lakers win, LeBron may be retiring after this year. He wants to play with his sons, but he has nothing left to prove in the NBA.
I don't think so.
I disagree.
He won every award.
Disagree.
He won. I don't think there's nothing left for him to prove.
I feel like when asking when LeBron James is going to retire is like asking when Tom Brady's going to retire.
LeBron
No one
said
knows.
Kids, don't get me wrong, but I say Carmelo's going to retire.
Oh, Carmelo, I could give you. Carmelo,
No,
I could
this
give
one
you.
I could see this being his last year.
I could see Carmelo.
Here's the thing. Carmelo said this before when he played with the Knicks. I want to play with LeBron James before I retire.
Oh, definitely. They've been outspoken
They've been
about
playing
that.
with each other since they were 16 years old at Adidas camp. If you ever heard of Lenny Cook, he was the only player that was ever better than LeBron James. They made a documentary about him. To all you basketball viewers, look up Lenny Cook. He was the only player to be better than LeBron. He's from New Jersey. He's from Brooklyn. He moved to New Jersey, dominated, didn't play high school ball, only played that was better than LeBron in the state. So technically, then LeBron just became the king of the world. To wrap my point, you have Anthony Davis, who is probably the best big man if he's healthy. I think Anthony Davis is better than Embiid if he can stay healthy. And that's a fact. And Alex knows Alex is biased towards AD, not towards Embiid. But I'm going to ask Adam, who do you think is a better player, Embiid or Davis?
I'd say Davis.
Chris?
Anthony Davis, 100%, but he has to play center. He has to be he has to be a center in the playoffs. We'll get more into that for NBA season, but he's got to man up and play center. I'm very outspoken about that.
Or Joel Embiid. I know who Alex is. Alex, don't be biased. Don't be a biased fan. Be a real basketball fan. Who's better, Anthony Davis or Joel Embiid?
I would have to go with the AD.
Good.
All right. I was asking Alex as a basketball fan, not as a Sixers fan.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alex, if you had
debatable.
said Embiid, I might have had to get you tested
I think
for a
it's
little
absolutely
weed.
debatable. I wanted to have been.
All right, but
Someone
that's
said Embiid, I want to get upset.
man, we got a good. All right, Adam.
That's the end of your hot take?
Yes, sir.
All right. Michael, when you first started that hot take, I was thinking this is gonna be instant deny. I when you first started, I was so ready to say deny, but you know what? Now you clarified it, Michael. I approve.
Yeah, it was a good hot take.
I like it. Alex?
Yeah, I approve.
Okay.
Why do you gotta prove a nigga's hot take? That's all I'm
Okay,
too
so I think he said like what? I think he's what, 39 and 43? 39. I think He
Oh,
said
yeah.
like
Four
what,
misses?
3 or 4 misses. I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I'll have to go back and check, but I believe he has at least either 39 out of 43 or 40 out of 43. But still, Michael, excellent hot take.
I'm the GOAT,
Great
baby.
job.
Oh, I want to have a shout out real quick for
Go ahead.
TC's football team. We're gonna beat Willie Patterson homecoming weekend, October 2nd, Alex. That's all I gotta say. Go Lions. That's all I gotta say. My fault. Sorry, Adam. I'm gonna make a bet on October 2nd, on our show. Next time episode, I'm going with the TCNJ Lions. I know they're not in the spread, but screw it. That's my bet for next week. That is my bet.
All right, Michael, we'll see if we can make some arrangements for
We
that.
can.
We'll see.
We could figure out a.
We can we'll
We
figure
can
out
make up
something.
our own odds. That would be equivalent.
Okay.
somehow.
I do know that NJAC pretty well because I'm a Mock State alum and
Okay.
and covering the NJAC, so I know the NJAC pretty well, so I could make up something.
Alex, what do you say, brother? You want to bet on TCNJ for homecoming?
Not if after this weekend they are 0-3.
Oh, my bad. But you know me, we never lose homecoming games. But that's the only game we win.
How's
Michael.
I'll just check out how Mocker State's doing. Hold on.
Guess who they play for homecoming?
Who?
William Patterson.
That's an easy win.
Mocker State's 0-3 as well.
I may not be at homecoming this year because I'm gonna be in Aruba.
So yeah, both our college football teams aren't doing too good. Shout out to Mocker State, by the way, and TCNJ.
TCNJ, the home of Michael Cunningham.
And Mocker State, the whole of Agrisani. So, guys, we gotta move on to guys. This Thursday football game intrigued me in more ways than one, because it was the Carolina Panthers took down the Houston Texans 24-9. I mean, we all know. I think we all can agree that previous Houston win, like again, that Houston's first win, was kind of fluky, and that they're not going to be a good team this year. So, Carolina Panthers, they took care of business, and they're now 3-0 on the season. And
here's the thing about Houston, about the Panthers, they played shitty teams.
Sure, I mean, the Saints aren't really a shitty team, I would say.
They play the Jets.
They play
the Texans. They're all shitty. And I'm a Jet fan.
The Saints are not a shitty team.
They're shitty this year.
They're not going to be shitty this year.
Adam,
They might not be a playoff team. I'd be shocked if they don't finish with at least 9 wins or
they have
something.
Jameis Winston as their quarterback.
And Jameis Winston's actually not doing too bad.
Mike, let him finish his brief real quick, and then we'll get into it.
What?
Okay,
Mike, let him finish his point.
Okay, but yeah, this game intrigues me to see the Panthers get off to this hard start. And a big reason why is we've talked about it before on the show. That is Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold performed really, in my opinion, had a really great game. I mean, besides the stat sheet, his stats, he had 2 rushing touchdowns. He was over 300 yards, 23 out of 30, I think, pushed out 34 attempts. Obviously, statistics aside, I think the real thing that stood out to me about Sam Darnold is what happened after that big injury to Christian McCaffrey. Because because Kobe, after that injury, that's I thought to myself, that's gonna be a big blow for Carolina, because Christian McCaffrey is a big part of that offense, because the way he can run the ball, it opens up so many play action opportunities for Sam. And so I'm thinking to myself, how is Sam gonna respond to losing a big weapon like that? How is Sam gonna respond onto that? And you know what? He kind of struggled a little bit at first, but eventually he got going, and he made some really nice throws. I don't know if you guys saw this one throw where he was about to get hit, and he just threw a laser right to who was it? I forget who it was, but the guy made like a really nice catch. That was a really nice play still to me. He also made another one where he was on the right, he put the ball into a really like nice a really tight window. That's what I always said before. That's what in my opinion franchise quarterbacks do. That's what franchise quarterbacks do when things like, for example, any quarterback can get put into a perfect situation and do well. No, a perfect example, Jared Goff. When Jared Goff had everything working around him, like he was able to take advantage of it, and he looked like a really good quarterback. But then when things started to not go right around him, he wasn't. He's just not good enough to be able to make up for the deficiencies around his team. With Christian McCaffrey, like when Christian McCaffrey went down, like you figured this is gonna be a big blow for the Carolina's offense. But you know what? Sam Darnold was able to make up for all that loss and make up for that deficiency offense, and he had an excellent game. Now granted, Hubbard did fill in nicely for McCaffrey, so you gotta give him credit, but it just shows guys that for all the problems that the Jets have had over the past couple of years, I think it's safe to say now that Sam Darnold was not the problem in New York. Now, is Sam Darnold going to go on to become, a Patrick Mahomes or a Dak Prescott? I don't think so. I don't think so. But is he more than capable of becoming of being like a really, really good quarterback or a great quarterback in this league? I definitely think so. I think it was unfair for so many people to write him off based on how he performed the Jets, because we all can agree that the situations that the Jets put him in was like a complete disaster that no real quarterback can realistically like succeed in.
I definitely agree with that, but it's still I think it's still too early to really judge too much. He's obviously looked really good, but with what you mentioned after McCaffrey went out, like the way he performed after that was very impressive. I think he's been really good in the first 3 games, and like Mike mentioned, and I think it's very true. But you can only beat who's in front of you. You don't worry about it. They beat the Saints, and that's a good win. Doesn't matter. You just take care of business against who you got. They're 3-0, and they're just gonna keep rolling with it. But like it didn't go well with the Jets, but maybe he could have done some things differently. But he's obviously shown some good things for Carolina. That was a weird trade to me when it happened, but glad to see. It seemed like a good fit, but I think another aspect is the Panthers offense is honestly, it's really good. That wasn't an issue for them last season, and I feel like it hasn't really. A couple years ago, after Cam, they kind of struggled on that side of the ball, but they have a lot of good weapons on the offense.
Moore.
DJ Moore is a stud.
DJ Moore.
I need to look into it a little bit more, but
Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson has not been a factor, and I don't know enough about that aspect because he played for Matt Rhule in college, so seeing him not get utilized as much is a little bit odd to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed anything tonight, but he wasn't really targeted. That's something I'm going to watch going forward the next couple weeks. Yeah, but
I could have sworn watch that game that he had more. I have no idea why.
Like, it's still too early, but just surprised me a little bit that DJ Moore's a stud. So
definitely
him and Darnold being connected, it's all good. But I'm sure him and Robbie will get going too.
Yeah,
Robbie Anderson's a really good player, and they value him, especially if McCaffrey's out for a couple weeks or whatever. They'll need to get someone else besides DJ Moore, and they kind of got that a little bit. They kind of mixed it around tonight, but they'll figure out Robbie Anderson. And even besides Anderson, they have a lot of decent weapons to really go with the depth that was season for. So even like with last year's Teddy Bridgewater, the offense was good, and so I'm just excited to see Darnold in this offense.
Yeah. And similar to how we've always shit on Adam Gase for how he basically we all thought ruined Sam Darnold's career. You've got to give Matt Rhule a lot of credit because you gotta give Matt Rhule a lot of credit for helping build this offense and this and for building this culture, and building the system that we can all see that Sam Darnold's clearly thriving in. You gotta give Matt Rhule a lot of credit.
Yeah, I definitely agree. A lot of people questioned the hire when the Panthers hired him. I think I don't know. Is this year 3?
I don't know if you know, Chris. I wanted the Giants to hire Matt Rhule back in 2020.
Okay.
He was my top choice.
I love Matt Rhule. The job he did at Temple was fantastic, and he turned that at Baylor. I think he was only a Baylor year or two, but the job he did at Baylor, he took them to the Big 12 title game, I believe, and I think they beat. I might be remembering wrong, but I believe they won New Year's Six Bowl. For some reason, I'm thinking they beat Georgia, but I may be incorrect. But he took that team. I mean, Baylor's had some really good years in football, but he quickly turned them into a college football playoff contender. Yeah. And the Panthers took notice. And
before Matt Rhule, the only thing I knew about Baylor football was RG3. That was it.
They were Baylor's a solid football program, but Matt Rhule really took them to.
He really took that program to another level.
He really got them. Yeah, they were big time. They've had a couple of years.
That's why I really want Matt Rhule. He's a big program builder. He's really. I found out he's really into sports science and the new technology and really the new technology to help train and develop players. He's into that. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted him on the Giants. And I wanted to talk about what this Carolina Panthers and I was talking to a great side. I want to talk a little bit as it relates to the two New York football teams, because the two New York football teams, it has not been a good decade for really New York football. Let's be honest. Since the Giants winning that past Super Bowl and just making it past a couple of times, New York City football has just not been fun. It's just not been fun. I feel like when you look at Matt Rhule and Sam Darnold right now, I feel like you see what they're doing. I think it's really a perfect example of why the Giants and Jets are in the situations they are. Because guys, I don't know if you guys remember this, both the Giants and the Jets could have had something similar to what's happening in Carolina right now. Because let's start with the Giants. In 2018, they had the second overall pick, and Sam Darnold was there. They passed, and they chose Saquon, and they chose Saquon Barkley. And I've said before, I always thought that taking Saquon Barkley was a mistake. I feel like it was either take a quarterback or trade back in that pick, but that's a different story for a different day. And I believe also in 2020 they were in the running for Matt Rhule. That was a legitimate target for them to be their head coach in 2020. I don't know too much about 2018. I don't know. I don't think Matt Rhule was really looking for.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was on NFL radar yet.
It wasn't on the NFL teams radar until I believe 2019. Really, yeah. So I can't really get on them there. But in 2020, they could have had like Matt Rhule and if they had just simply made good hires, who knows? The Giants could be in a situation where they have, I don't know, Josh Allen or Sam Darnold and Matt Rhule as and Matt Rhule, and they could be in the situation that the Carolina Panthers are right now. Same thing with the New York Jets. They originally drafted Sam Darnold in 2018, and then obviously after that they fired his name is slipping my mind. Who was
Adam
the Jets?
Gase?
No, before Adam Gase. Todd Bowles.
Oh yeah, Bowles.
Yeah, Todd Bowles. They fired Todd Bowles, and in 2019 they were also, I believe, Matt Rhule was also a name that there was a lot of interest from the Jets and Matt Rhule. Guess what happened? They hired Adam Gase. So it just shows how these decisions, like, and how both New York football teams have just gotten it wrong over the years. If he, it's just it's both New York football teams should look at what's going on with Carolina right now and thinking like this could have been us, and hopefully it'll help like both New York football programs like really like get their what together going forward. Because quite frankly, I am sick and tired of football on the sound being like boring and having both teams stink every year.
I agree, but I will say it also is a lot more than just the head coach hire. That really
I agree.
I think a big reason Rhule went to Carolina. That's a near perfect situation for a first-time NFL coach. That they that's a good football roster. Like they're still like, and he still has to continue to build on that. Like they had a lot of talent on that football team, but it still allowed him the flexibility to build it the way he wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I also feel like drafting is a big part of it too. Drafting because the Giants rosters, because obviously the Giants rosters like weren't as good as like more in the but still like if they had just like you have to think like if they had like if either the Giants or Jets had went down that round and they went down that round and they like started drafting better and they actually started like making better hires like they could be like where like the Carolina Panthers are right now. It gets to a point like where I made last episode. And, like this goes for both Dave Gilman and Jet O'Douglas. Eventually, your team has got to start winning some games. Eventually, your team has to start like for you to keep your job. Like you eventually have to start winning games. This goes more for Dave Gilman than Joe Douglas. So Joe Douglas, I am willing to give a bit of leeway because he was stuck to NBA for so many years, but for Dave Gilman and the Giants, they need to start winning. They need to start winning some games because at some point, like you can't use the you can only use the rebuilding excuse for so long. Because again, I said before, I feel like it's just me venting because I'm just so sick and tired of both New York football. I mean, more so the Giants because I'm a Giants fan, but still, for New York sports fans in general, both football teams in New York City, because I know if I don't say that, Buffalo Bills fans are gonna start ragging on me because they are technically a New York football team. So I want to make sure I say that specifically. But still, you know what I mean. I'm tired of both. I feel like I'm making so because I'm tired of both the Giants just sucking. Michael, I'm sure you can agree with a lot of what I'm saying.
100%, brethren.
But yeah, guys, before we get to our bets, we have Chris, Alex, Michael. I'm gonna give you the floor. I mean, mostly Chris. I'm gonna give you the floor. We haven't talked college football in a while. So I want to talk to you guys, to Chris specifically. Those are some tough losses for both Ohio State and Clemson.
Definitely. I mean, Clemson hasn't looked good. They barely beat Georgia Tech, but I mean, Clemson's still in the spot. Just went out, make the playoffs, and just roll with it. I'm not too concerned about them. I mean, obviously they have to play a lot better, but as long as they win games, they'll make the playoff. Just because they're Clemson and a one-loss ACC champ again. So I'm not too concerned yet. Obviously, not play well against Georgia Tech this week is not good at all. But the week one game against Georgia was one that Georgia needed much more to make the playoffs. Just by the way scheduling worked out. Because two lost teams aren't getting in unless a lot happens. So, and Georgia has a much tougher schedule. So that's one they needed a lot more. And it was just a weird game. Both defenses were fantastic. It's just Georgia had a defensive touchdown. That was the difference. So nothing crazy there. Clemson's offense has to get a lot better, and I think they will. But, I mean, winning out's going to be tough for them, but I think they'll get a lot better. But, yeah, I mean, nobody's looked too great. Ohio State they lost. I mean, they made it kind of close, but they got outplayed pretty handily by Oregon. They kind of made it a game late and only lost by a touchdown, but Oregon looked really good. Now, Ohio State just hasn't looked good. They didn't look good the week after either. They struggled against who was it? I believe, yeah, it was Tulsa. They did not play well against Tulsa either. Ohio State has not looked good at all, and it's very concerning. CJ Stroud, there's some question marks around how he's played, and I don't see Ohio State. A lot of people thought they were locked to make the playoffs, and I don't see them going undefeated in the Big Ten schedule. I mean, a lot can change. Obviously, they're kind of similar spot to Clemson, but I would say
I think of the two I think of Clemson and Ohio State. I think I'm more concerned about Ohio State.
I agree. They both always have to play a lot better, but Ohio State's schedule is tougher, and they lose. They seem to always. I mean, the road games in the Big Ten are tougher than the ACC road games, which is why I'm more concerned. Because Clemson will be in some ugly games, and it's not going to look pretty. Like they won by 6 against Georgia Tech at home. I mean, you never want to be in those kind of games, but they should be able to win those ugly games while they try and figure it out offensively. I think Clemson should. But Ohio State, on the other hand, they're going to have to get a lot better. But, on the flip side of that, none of these top teams have looked good. Like, the top favorites, besides Alabama, obviously, but Alabama's the best team by far.
Yeah.
It's not
definitely.
Florida impressed me, though, and they deserve a lot of credit.
All right. I also wanted to put you on a spot here. They're currently ranked number 2 in the country. Do you think Georgia's making the playoffs?
I will say yes, they will.
Really?
Yes. 2 SEC teams should get in. Okay. It would be a lot surprising if 2 SEC teams do not get in. And I do envision Georgia winning out in the regular season. It's tough, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think they do, though. It'll be interesting, but I think they do.
Michael, you have any college football thoughts?
Do you probably disagree with me? I think Georgia gets it done.
Honestly, can't bet against Saban.
Alabama's winning the title. We don't need to discuss that.
Yeah, definitely.
We're discussing who's going to play them.
You just can't bet against Alabama. And here's the
We're
thing.
talking about the other 3 spots, Mike.
Saban. I hate Nick Saban. I hate Skip Bayless.
You hate Tom Brady.
And I hate Tom Brady. I don't know in what order. I don't know in what order.
Yeah.
I can't stand Nick Saban.
Okay.
I wish death on Nick Saban. I wish he falls in the tomb somewhere.
All right.
He's not.
All right. Speaking more college football, Alex, my friend, Penn State 3-0.
It's going to be a very interesting matchup on Saturday against 3-0 Villanova.
Oh, yeah. So against Villanova, yeah.
Yeah. Both 3-0. I think Penn State is going to come with a victory by at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Penn State's going to be really good.
Penn State's looking good.
Yeah.
I would be I don't know. I would say Penn State could contend for a playoff spot, but I don't know.
I think they have a shot.
They're currently ranked 6, I believe.
Yeah.
So they have
AP poll is completely different, though.
Yeah, I think they have an outside shot. And also we gotta give New Jersey love. Rutgers is 3-0. And they've looked good. Vitriol's looked good. And they're currently playing Michigan this upcoming game. So this upcoming week against Michigan. So you figured that would be a loss, but guys, I was
on the road.
Yeah, they're playing.
It'll be
Michigan.
tough, but
I don't see it. Here's the thing, guys. I I was thinking about this. This is not going to be my bet, so you guys know. Rutgers is currently, the spread is currently obviously Michigan State minus 20.5. I was thinking about picking Rutgers for that game. I could see them covering that. I could see. I obviously they're not gonna obviously I don't expect them to beat the Michigans of the world, the Ohio States of the world. But could they make a couple of those games competitive? I don't see why not.
Chris, I got a question for you.
Go for it.
All right, make it quick, Alex, because we gotta get to our bets.
Okay. What do you think of the SEC showdown at 3:30 this Saturday? Texas A&M against Arkansas.
I think it's really interesting. I think because a lot of people thought Texas A&M could be a playoff team, and their defense is phenomenal. They've allowed 17 points in 3 games, and I mean Arkansas has been good too. They dominated Texas and they beat a couple other decent teams, but I think Texas A&M wins, and their defense is legit. But I think that's going to be a fantastic matchup. But I do think Texas A&M wins that.
Mm.
I've only watched their games against Colorado, and it was ugly, but they were phenomenal. And their defense is legit, and I really like their backfield that they have. They have a lot of different runners, different running backs that they like, and I like their quarterback play, Calveda, I believe the guy. And I mean the defense has just been phenomenal, and they'll win you a lot of good games against decent football teams, and that's all I think Arkansas is right now.
All right, guys, we gotta move on. We gotta wrap up the show, which how we always wrap up the show. Our bets of the episode. To recap, episode 42. I believe both you and I had the same bet. Am I correct? We both had the Packers over the Lions on the spread, and you had Packers beat the Lions. They covered the spread, and we both had 9.62 points. So Chris, you bounced back, and guys, I snapped my 5-bet losing streak. I'm finally back in the win column.
Let's go.
Tragic.
Yeah, wanna know why it's tragic, Michael?
Why?
Because you lost your bets.
Yeah.
You had the Phillies over the Orioles and Bryce Harper getting a hit in a singing parlay. But guess what? Orioles, that was the game that the Orioles beat the Phillies in. So Michael, you take an L. Marcellus also took an L. Oh, he had the Yankees over the Rangers on the spread. I think the Yankees won that game, but they did not cover the spread. So Marcellus takes an L. And Alex, my friend, you are also back in the win column. I believe you previously lost 3 straight, but you had the Yankees over the Red Sox over the Mets on the money line. You won the bet. You add 5.56 points. So you're back in the win column. Okay, to give you update on the standings, guys, we have a new ringleader that is Michael. This news is going to impress you, but Chris, my friend, you are back in first place, 22-20 record.
Back where I belong.
211.6 points.
Daddy's coming back on the throne.
No, you're not.
Big Daddy is coming back. Title, Daddy's coming home. To Goldie, Daddy's going to war.
Okay. But yeah, Michael, you're in second place, 23-19 record, 207.91 points. I remain in third place, 18-21 record, 189.66 points. Marcellus is in fourth place, 23-19 record, 158 points. And Alex is obviously, as usual, is in last place, 15-27 record, 101.61 points. Alex, my friend, you finally broke 100 points.
How many points he has, Adam?
101.61. He finally broke 100.
Alex.
It took him 42 episodes to do it, but you know what? Alex Reach, you have broken 100 points.
Alex, I'll give Alex credit. He takes risky bets. That's why he's in last place.
All right, guys. All right. We do have Marcel's bet. Like, obviously, Marcel's couldn't join us for stuff, but we do have his bet. He's taking Arizona on the spread. So that's Marcel's bet. And I'm going to go first here, guys, as usual. And this is a bet that should make Chris very happy because this past Sunday Night Football was a rough one for the Kansas City Chiefs. It was a heartbreaker. Again, Chris, I feel you on that one. That must have been rough, but it was a heartbreaking loss for the Kansas City Chiefs. But now this upcoming week they are against the San Diego Chargers at home, and the spread right now is, I believe, 6.5. Honestly, guys, I think that spread is all. Yes, because San Diego, I think they're a decent team, but I don't think that. But when I look at the two, Kansas City is just clearly the better team, and when you consider like how bad of a loss that was, I think they're going to be motivated. They're going to be back at home, so I think Kansas City's I can easily see Kansas City winning this game by a touchdown. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Chiefs over the Chargers on the spread, 6.5.
Chris, you're up.
Alex, you go. Then Chris will go, and then Michael, you go. Alex, go ahead.
I am going to take Stanford over UCLA.
Spread or money line?
Money line.
Alex, I'm disappointed in you.
Stanford beating UCLA, right?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. All right, Chris, you're up.
You can go ahead if you'd like.
No, I'm going last. I gotta go last.
I wanted to bet on my Chiefs, but I that's a big spread, and I'm staying away from that personally. I love Adam picking my squad to cover, but that's a lot of points against a really good Chargers team, so I'm sticking away from that. But I am going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers covering the spread against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh, what's the spread on that?
I see -3 right now.
Wow, -3. Yeah, that's a.
I mean, it's pretty much even. It's just their home.
All right.
I love that spread.
Oh yeah, that's it. I mean, I'll double check, but if that's true, yeah, that's a really juicy.
That's surprising.
All right, Michael, last up. Go ahead.
Are you serious? I think everybody and their mother know who I'm taking out of. It doesn't take rocket science.
I think he's going with the Eagles.
Oh, you know better. Yeah, if I was insane. You know what? There's no possible way where I'm Adam. You know who I'm picking, Adam. Adam.
Yeah.
Come on. You know who I'm going with.
You're picking
Give me a down there. Go. We them boys. We at home, baby. We beating the Eagles. We going for it all. We are kicking the Philadelphia Eagles ass. Let's go, Cowboys.
All right.
At home, money line. There's no way.
All right, money line. Okay, I gotcha.
Now, can you dig that? To answer your question, Cowboys for life, baby. There you go. Show the gold, baby. Show the gold. Here, I see the vision and I see the music.
Chris pulling out a Des Bryant jersey on us.
Alex, I love you. You should have went the head-to-head.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Cowboy Nation. Beating Eagles. Alex,
are you enjoying this? I'm sure you're not enjoying this right now.
Hey, Alex, my friend. You want to do our usual bet, just like the old days in college?
I got Eagles by 7.
Alex, change your bet. Go head-to-head against me. You got any balls?
You want
Alex
to do an outside the show bet? I mean
Alex, just we can go head-to-head next week. Me and you can. Nice little friendly way.
I don't think Alex has any balls left in his body, but it's okay.
I picked my bet. I I'll lay a stamp right now. I picked my bet. It's over with. Next week
Good.
is a new week. I'll see you next week and see what you pick.
Okay.
That's
All right,
I actually
man.
like that
Smart
stamp for
man.
that. Really
Adam,
good odds,
I have a friend named River who's from Hackensack, New Jersey. He's a good friend of mine. We made a side bet. Cowboys win, he buys me dinner. Eagles win, I buy him dinner. So, River, if you're watching this, my brother, my Cowboys are about to whoop that Eagles ass and make them our bitch. Dak Prescott, MVP, baby. Let's get it. All right, Adam.
All right, guys. That's all for this, and that's all for this episode. So, I mean, you guys have you guys have any final thoughts? I mean, I said for LB playoff races heating up. I mean, football season is back in full swing, and guys, NH hockey and basketball are right around the corner. So, exciting times on this podcast. So, you guys have any final thoughts?
Nope.
All
Good
right.
football week.
Can't wait for good football.
Luck to all our squad.
Yeah. All right. That's it. This has been episode 43 of the Get Your Gun podcast with yours truly, Adam Warsani, Mikey Cunningham, Alex Reach, and Chris Green. If you like what you heard, leave a like and follow or subscribe to the podcast. Also, if you want to join the conversation, drop a comment or review, and we may feature it in a future episode. Remember, my friends, those two dreams are just fancy. It's the magical world. Believe in it and dive in. See you next time, and until then, stay lit.
And we're out.